King Combs.
Diddy's son. Also a rapper.
Correct again. He, trying to see if this is the email. Still not. Anyway, King Combs dropped a record called Pick a Side. And it's being called a 50 Cent diss. I heard it.
I did too.
I heard it.
I did too.
I heard it.
Same.
Listen, we're going to be honest. I'll be honest.
I don't see why not. He's a grown up. So we can be as honest as we want. He is not Northwest. He is not blue. He is not a minor, is my point. We don't need we can be completely and he wants to play with the big boys. So when you're grown and you want to play with the big boys, we don't care who your daddy is. Come on to the podium.
Right.
And let's have a conversation.
You just see. Let me just see something. Just see. Speaking of,
I don't know. I'm so dancey today.
50 Cent is 48 years old.
Mm-hmm. And King Combs is what, 25?
26. I understand that King Combs comes from a wealthy family, has a super rich dad, and probably lots of powerful friends and connections via his dad.
Mm-hmm.
But sir, 50 Cent is old.
Oh my gosh, and he gonna get his feelings hurt. 50 Cent is the person you want to play with? 50 Cent?
And that old guy, old in relation to you, I'm saying, not old in relation
Right,
to,
of course. I mean, I think 50 is old, but
I will say this. 50 is a troll. 50 has a pretty good record when it comes to beef / disses. I mean, not really the guy you probably want to do this with for various reasons.
Yep.
And saying I dare someone to say no Diddy is really confusing because Gucci Mane has a whole record called No Diddy with a music video and everything. So I'm really confused by this song existing, the things he's saying on the record. I just feel like, what made you feel brave enough to do this? Was it drugs? Because I don't know, besides substances, what would make you brave enough to do this? And it don't sound great. King Combs has good music out there. So it was surprising to me that you put this out and nobody knew it existed. It ain't like you were responding to somebody else's beef
nobody
record.
gave a shit. Let's be honest. Like nobody cared.
And I don't know if we do.
Nobody was looking for King Combs to make a diss track. No one cared. The same way we were like, Rick Ross, this was cool, this was cute, but like sit down because this is not really about you. Or the way like we talked about the game the other day was like, he's just trying to get involved. Okay, we don't need this.
But even Game, I would say is different because Game honestly admitted already that hey, I just want to have some fun and spar with somebody.
He did, and
I'm okay with that.
And I feel like that's a compliment to Rick Ross, even though he's been talking shit. I feel like that's a compliment to Rick Ross.
Yeah.
But nobody sent for King Combs, and beyond the 50 Cent of it all, which all I can think of with this is the way he trolled Tierra Marie. Do you remember when he was trolling Tierra Marie when she owed him money, and like every day he would get on the internet and be like, "Where's my money?"
But even that, you know how many you know the stuff that he did with Rick Ross when they were beefing? A lot of people, including myself, feel Rick Ross won that battle. But you know how much content came out because he was trolling Rick Ross?
But right. So
when 50 decides, hey, I got time today, he's gonna roast you. And that's what he's been doing on Twitter. He's been
But
roasting him on Twitter, and
he
Meek Mill too.
has.
But that's another.
But
We're not even gonna get into that one.
he also one of the first things he said was,
Oh yeah, he was trolling. He said, "I'm scared for my life."
well, no, before that, he says, I wasn't going to talk about Diddy's kids.
Oh yes, you're right. He did say.
And I believe him.
Mhm.
Because I think that even even the biggest troll has
Has
a
limits.
code that they live
Yeah, of
by.
course. Yeah,
And so I believe him when he says that he wasn't gonna say anything about Diddy's kids. Now
and
here's
there's really no need to. I mean, if you're trolling
no,
Diddy, what do you need to bring his kids into it for?
but
Because
yeah,
it's also not
here
a beef, right? 50 has been trolling Diddy and making
for
jokes,
years.
being a dick, sure. But it ain't beefing. Like,
But also, I just want to point something out. Forget about 50 Cent for a second. Why on earth, in the year of our Lord 2024, would you want to draw attention to yourself who has been named in some of your father's lawsuits?
yes. And has a lawsuit of your own.
And you have a lawsuit or lawsuits of your own
Yes.
where you are being accused of some pretty egregious things.
Yes.
Maybe
Facts.
not as bad as daddy,
It's
but bad enough.
it's
He's
adjacent,
not
I
old
believe is
enough
the
to
word.
have the rap sheet that
I
the
believe
alleged
adjacent.
rap sheet. Right.
Adjacent is the word.
Yeah. But Diddy Light would make sense, right? Why on earth would you make a diss track and draw against the person who you know, even if he doesn't respond via record, will still respond to you and attempt, even if you don't feel embarrassed, will attempt to embarrass you publicly? Why would you do this? Why would you draw attention to yourself? There are active lawsuits happening with this family. It is not like they are just under the radar and nobody's thinking about them. This
Right.
stuff is fresh with them. Both of them. All
Yeah.
of them. Whoever's involved.
Yeah.
Why would you do this? This is just like silly, and it feels like one of the kids is trying to play with the adults and the adults are just like, silly, silly boy, go play with your toys. That's
And
what
I
this
and
feels like.
yeah, and even though 50 is roasting him on Twitter, I appreciate that 50 hasn't done anything that I've seen thus far, because maybe that'll change the moment after we record this. Maybe something happened that I haven't seen yet. So what I've seen thus far, none of it is really ODing on the kid. And I appreciate that, because we know 50 plays dirty when it comes to
Oh,
beef.
yeah.
We know he's a fan of a certain book. We know how he feels about quote unquote war. So I appreciate that he's having some discernment, uh, and he's, taking it light on the pup
Hmm.
for now.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, and I hope it stays that way, because really 50 doesn't get any points for this if he does respond, or if he does go and smack him up.
No.
So I hope it stays to like tweets, or if 50 want to respond on a diss record, I guess, but we don't need that, honestly.
I don't think anyone cares. Not enough. Um, but
I think at this point everybody is just like, I wanna have a moment. I wanna get in on the beef. I
yeah.
see people's businesses doing well because of the beef. I want some love in the beef. I want the beef to help me go up a little bit here.
And honestly, I'll say this because I don't want to sound completely negative. He has heart.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
anyone
that's why
who
I
would,
said brave. This was
yeah,
brave.
because anyone who would try to go up against 50, who who is not, who is an artist, right? Like he's a new artist. He's
Mhm.
someone who his music plays on the radio. Like he's a
Yeah.
talented dude.
Yeah.
But I don't think that his career is cemented
Yeah.
in the way that other
50. Yeah,
seasoned
no.
artists are. So
I agree.
So for him to for him to not be seasoned and to be brand new on the scene and do this, it takes a lot of heart. It takes a lot of bravery. You're right. Um, so that should be acknowledged, and good for him for having the balls.
I
But
guess, but even with that, like this
I
ain't
don't.
prime 50. 50 ain't even put out music like that at this. Like 50's in the TV and film business right now. Like
Right. I don't.
he just opened G Unit and
Studios.
TV
Yep.
studios. Like he ain't rapping.
No. I
And
agree
and
with
and I
you.
gotta be honest, if 50 comes out of retirement and smokes this kid on a diss record, it will be the embarrassment of that kid's life.
But that is why I don't think 50's gonna do that. I think 50 has a soft spot, and I think he said it. I think he told us that he has a soft spot, and
Right.
that's why he acknowledged that. Yeah, I'm probably gonna fuck with him a little bit, but not, you know. So yeah, but I wish him well on all his future endeavors.
Yeah, listen. You
That's all.
gotta stay in your lane.
Yeah,
Jay-Z once said, do not bark up that tree. That tree will fall on you.
I can see that happening. I can see
And
that happening. And he
that's
don't need any right now. Like, y'all need to go deal with your family
no,
issues.
you had a great point, right? Which is that your family already has so much going on and so much of a spotlight on y'all. This just wasn't smart. That's a fact.
It looks like, when you think about that part of it, it looks like arrogance, and it looks like we're Teflon, we can't be taken down,
Yeah.
and you gotta be careful with that, because these days a judge will see that and be like, "Oh yeah, I can show you."
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
These are black men we're talking about.
Right.
It ain't. It
Absolutely.
ain't. It don't matter how big your bank account is. It ain't easy.
No, and also it's a federal investigation. Like we're not talking about like the local sheriff's department. Like we're
Right.
talking about a federal investigation. Like I don't understand.
Yeah. I
This was
don't.
this was ill advised.
But that's privilege. So.
You right.